You are Locked On Phillies Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Boy, oh boy, welcome into a late night edition of this Philadelphia Phillies postcast. My name is Mark Farzetta, and you're Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to it all. This episode is brought to you by the GameTime app. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. It was a little bit longer than we anticipated. The Phillies certainly kept it close throughout this game. Ranger Suarez looked wonderful, really. I know, yes, some control problems, but when you think about it, and we'll talk about his start through 6 2/3, he got into that 7th inning, was unable to get out of it before Jeff Hoffman came into the ball game. We got a lot to dissect, but awesome job by Kyle Schwarber to get not only the solo home run to lead off the game, not on the first pitch, though. Rafael Marchan to come up with the solo home run as well. Kyle Schwarber to come up with another big hit in the 10th inning when they're in extras to make sure the Phillies had somewhat of a lead to at least try to protect going into the bottom of the 10th inning. Great job for the most part by the bullpen, but oh my goodness gracious, Matt Strahm, I feel bad for you. Hey, 27 1/3 is where it stopped the scoreless streak for him before giving up that Santander home run. That's unfortunate, but he had a hell of a run, and he only surrendered the one run. It wasn't like a blow-up inning where he got deflated, unfortunately. But all in all, I was very impressed with the Phillies. They just kept on fighting, and one person in particular really, really turned my head tonight, and that was Rafael Marchan. Now, you could say, I'm just trying to be too optimistic knowing that JT Realmuto is not coming back for about a month or so. You could say I'm, Paulie Pom-Poms with Rafael Marchan, but I was very much impressed with his job behind the plate tonight. There was the unfortunate instance there in the 10th inning where you thought the game was over. Not only was the game not over, when I thought he slid and made the right tag at the right time in the right place to be able to end that game. Not only was it not over, he obviously missed the tag, and then there was the hour and 11-minute rain delay between the bottom of the 10th inning and the top of the 11th inning. Just great stuff. Just great stuff to talk about when we talk about this game. So let's jump into it with three big things. Number one, I give it to you, Philadelphia. I don't know too many times I'm going to get an opportunity to do this. This is certainly a time to do this. This was a Phillies home game. This reminded me of the good old days at Nationals Park where you would see the banner in the left field stands, Citizens Bank Park South. Well, Camden Yards was Citizens Bank Park not as south tonight. A little closer, about an hour difference, right? So that was awesome. You hear the Kyle Schwarber home run to start off the game, and it just sounds like you might as well be at Broad and Patterson in South Philadelphia. That's what it sounded like. So kudos to you, Philadelphia fans, traveling, to London, where for all intents and purposes, it was dominant Philadelphia fans. Credit to the Philadelphia fans that were in Beantown for unfortunately dropping 2 or 3 to the Red Sox. And then credit to you, Philadelphia sports fans, for going down I-95 and taking in this ball game tonight. And a lot of you stuck around through that hour-plus rain delay between the 10th and the 11th inning. So kudos to you, first and foremost, number one, Philadelphia fans with a stadium takeover, baby. Absolutely love to hear that. Everything was just amplified. Whatever the Phillies did well, it was amplified into the ball game. Now, as far as getting out of the stands and onto the field, Rafael Marchan, I got to give my hat tip to him. I have to give between his play behind the plate, snap throws he was making to first base to keep it interesting. You saw on display, and I know Joe Girardi's name in Philadelphia is mud. I understand that. But I have no doubt in my mind that the guy understands the catching position pretty well. And they alluded to the story that I was talking about in the Boston series about how impressed Joe Girardi was with Rafael Marchan when he came up to the big leagues and actually played with the Phillies in spring training and then later got an opportunity to play for the big league ball club. Most notably, the defensive skills were all there. The defensive skills by far were there. You saw him behind the plate make a couple of great stops tonight. Again, I know the one that happened in the 10th inning was bad. He just couldn't make it to home plate in time to make the appropriate tag at the right time to make sure that the game was ended, but not a lot he could do with that pitch just sailing up and away from him. Tried to glove it, needed to extend a little bit more. He missed it, bottom line, went to the wall, bounced back. But other than that, the home run tonight was fantastic. You can't take anything away from that. That was great. We'll get into the X's and O's of that. But so as far as what he was able to do behind the plate tonight, for the most part, the play that really sticks out to me is the Jeff Hoffman splitter, the 2-2 splitter that Jeff Hoffman threw, where Marchan made a fantastic move to his right to make sure that he kept that ball in front of him. Otherwise, you're allowing that run to score. And forget about being a 2-2 game at that point. You're actually talking about being down at that point in the game, 3-2. So he did everything he could possibly do to make sure that that run did not come across the plate to score. And then you ended up getting the called third strike. Hoffman there getting the third strike to get out of that inning there. That was fantastic as well. And then you see Marchan obviously come out and just show the athleticism behind the dish tonight. So, look, we're going to be looking for answers when it comes to the offensive capabilities of the catcher position without JT Realmuto. 2 days ago, you had a nice little – yesterday, I should say, Stubbs came up with a hit for you. Fine. Marchan came up with a home run for you tonight. Keep on, keep it on, Rafael Marchan. This might be the weirdest big three I've ever done with three big things, okay? The crowd, Rafael Furcal. Let's pump the brakes right there. Rafael Marchan, and then specifically the outside corner of the plate, all right? That's right. I'm going with an inanimate object. All right. The outside corner of the plate really kept this game interesting tonight. When you look at it like this, the home plate umpire tonight really kept batters guessing. Charlie Ramos was behind the home plate. Just by the way, word of warning while I'm talking about the umpire, I believe Laz Diaz goes tomorrow. Yee! Okay. All right. So Charlie Ramos is behind the plate. Is the home plate umpire for today's game. Okay. The first time you saw it, it was really Kyle Schwarber making a big stink about a called third strike on him. And I believe that came in the seventh inning. I think that's when things were really highlighted. It was the eighth inning. This is when it started to get highlighted. This had been a strike all night. And I give Ramos credit for calling it a strike all night long. It was a strike on Schwarber, just barely. Catching a little bit of the box there, just the outside corner. But it caught it, so it's a strike. You file this under, and I even wrote it in my notes here, way too close to take. But you just foul that away. Drop the barrel of the bat on it and just make sure you can put it away. And he wasn't able to do that. Then the game went on, and it continued to be a source of contentment throughout the entire game. You saw multiple guys go up there, whether it was the Orioles, whether it was the Phillies, time and time again. And then you saw the Orioles get rung up later in the game, and it was from that Jeff Hoffman fastball that he just dotted the eye of the outside corner, and he got the strikeout to be able to get out of his inning there. And you saw that continue to happen throughout the game. And that was a strikeout he had on Rutschman. In that same at-bat, that's when Marchan had that great block on the 2-2 splitter that was in the dirt. Fastball in the outside corner, about 97 miles per hour to get Rutschman to sit down there in that seventh inning. Throughout the game tonight, that was a consistent thing. Third inning is when it happened to Kyle Schwarber. Later in the game, Schwarber struck out swinging hard at two fastballs after being up at the count 3-0. But throughout the entire game, third inning on, really, you saw that start to be a strike consistently throughout the rest of the night. And it came back to help the Phillies there in the seventh inning. And it just was a star of the show for tonight's game, no question. Somebody else I really feel good for, Alec Bohm. And I've been talking about Alec Bohm for a couple of weeks now. I've highlighted the dipping batting average going from a 340 hitter all of a sudden to a guy hitting 286. And then he comes out tonight and he gets a huge opportunity. And early on this season, the Phillies, every single time, and I mean every single time, I mean 100 out of 100 times, if you were intentionally walking somebody to get to the next guy, whether it was Alec Bohm, whether it was JT Realmuto, whoever it was, you're getting to that. You're walking Bryce Harper, essentially, okay, intentionally. The next man up either put you ahead or won you the game. And tonight, that happened again for the Phillies. And I caught what Alec Bohm had to say on the post-game interview right before I started this postcast here. Loved what Alec Bohm had to say. When they asked him about intentionally walking Bryce Harper, he goes, well, that wasn't a surprise. I knew they were going to do that when I was sitting on the sofa. So he's in the clubhouse there at Camden Yards, and they're probably going through, all right, what's going to happen next? All right, what do we got going on here? Obviously, Bohm's going to grab a bat in this game. They're going to have Merrifield on second base in this instance. Castellanos is going to be up, then they're going to walk Harper, then it's going to be May. So they got to run around second base in that 11th inning. Castellanos steps up there, promptly pops out to short. I am really starting to get I know a lot of you are there already. I know you guys, a lot of you are there already. I'm starting to get really pissed off at Nick Castellanos. I don't know, maybe it's, the idea of batting him second in the lineup is just driving me absolutely bonkers, but, we'll get to it. So they intentionally walk Bryce Harper. You got Webb in the game for the Orioles. They get Castellanos to pop out to short, so you got one out in the inning with a runner on second. Harper steps up there. They give the intentional walk. I do find this interesting. Regardless of Alec Bohm's struggles. Now, keep in mind, when Alec Bohm was red hot, piping hot, a hell of a lot hotter than even Bryce Harper, they still walked Bryce Harper. Now, at least I can see why you might go and you want to face Alec Bohm because he's been struggling so much. Not this time. Not this time. So they figure, all right, if we put Harper on, it doesn't matter. We can get this out. We can get the double play ball here with Alec Bohm, and all will be right with the world. We can get out of this inning, get to the bottom of the 11th inning, and we can win this ball game. That's what the Orioles are thinking at that point. However, Alec Bohm had other plans. Got a first pitch fastball, caught way too much in the middle of the plate. He ropes it to left field. I'm watching that ball carry, and I'm watching it carry, and I'm watching it carry, and I'm watching it carry. And I'm thinking they're going to make a play on this. They're going to make a play on this. They did not make a play. You know who must have had a phenomenal angle on that ball? Hit the left center field off the bat of Alec Bohm on that first pitch fastball? Bryce Harper. Because Bryce Harper never stopped busting it. From the moment that ball was hit, and he's coming up the first base to second base line. He's coming up the base path, He must have a great angle on that baseball because he just started breaking. Meanwhile, Merrifield, of course, is rounding third. Harper almost catches up to him. Both runs end up scoring. Goes from the 3-3 tie to the 5-3 Phillies lead. Next thing you know, Sir Anthony Dominguez comes in to close this baby out. And the Phillies end up getting that win. The Phillies are 46-22 now. 47-22 now on the season, getting the win tonight over the Baltimore Orioles, who dropped to 45-24 on the year. And Sir Anthony Dominguez came in there in that ninth inning, and he handled his business. He got Hayes to fly out, Cowser to strike out, and then he got Stowers to strike out as well to end that game. And that's the way that broke down. A thing of beauty for the Phillies. A couple of things we could get into. Obviously, I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to see what you guys have to say about this one. But there's a lot to get to still when you talk about this 11-inning game that was, what did they say, 5 hours? With the hour and 11-minute rain delay from start time to finish. Good times. We'll break it down a little bit more when we return. You're Locked On Phillies postcast on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel to enjoy all this postcast mayhem throughout the rest of the season. We'll be back in a minute. You guys need some tax advice? How about this? When tax season's over, it ain't really over. Unfortunately, I found this out years ago the extremely hard way. But thank goodness for the great people at Tax Network USA. Here on Locked On Sports Philadelphia, we pride ourselves on getting you the latest news for your team, whether it's the offseason, the draft, spring training, or even the playoffs. It's year-round. Just like tax collections, not just tax season, but tax collections. Just because tax season's over doesn't mean the IRS is stopping their search for more money, for unfiled taxes, I mean. The IRS can garnish your wages. They can levy your bank accounts. They can even seize your property. Don't let the IRS target you. Let the licensed professionals and tax experts at Tax Network USA go to bat for you. It's people like this, professionals like this, tenacious professionals like this that helped me out all those years ago, and they can help you out too. With over 14 years of experience and an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau, Tax Network USA has saved their clients over $1 billion in tax debt. That's $1 billion in tax debt, so they know what they're doing. They are true experts. Whether you owe taxes, have complicated matters that require tax planning, or finally hit that parlay this season, and you need help correctly filing, call 1-800-549-1000. That's 1-800-549-1000, or visit tnusa.com/lockedon. You can also see the link in the episode description below for more information. We'll get to a couple more things when it comes to this game. We talked about Rafael Marchan. We talked about Ranger Suarez is the next person I wanted to talk about here. The thing that really impressed me with Ranger Suarez tonight through his 6 2/3 innings, his line on the night, you see it in the box there, 6 2/3, 1 run, 6 hits, 88 pitches to get through 6 2/3. If it was me, I would have let him go. I know they brought in Jeff Hoffman. In the moment, I'm thinking this is another situation where you just want to get one more out. Maybe, just maybe, the situation with Aaron Nola yesterday at Fenway, maybe it played in the decision a little bit for Rob Thompson, because Rob Thompson didn't have anybody up in the bullpen, didn't have anybody up until very late in the Aaron Nola start. Maybe he got a little antsy when it came to handling Ranger Suarez tonight, especially already being at 88 pitches. Now, that's a good 88 pitches and say 7 innings in the book mean that you could still come out possibly for the 8th inning, okay? He decided to go on the short side of it. I don't know if it was anything still to do with Ranger Suarez's hand. This was a second start since taking the liner off his pitching hand. He pitched well, not great, but pitched well when he was out there in London. This was a second start since then, or first start stateside, I guess you could say, from the injury there. But he went out there and I thought he looked great. Thought the changeup was looking really well, really good. I thought the curveball was breaking really well for him. I thought he was locating his fastball location was a little off in the early goings of the game for him. I thought he settled in nicely. But in that inning, in that 7th inning, when he had one more out to go, you look back on that inning, right before they went to Jeff Hoffman, he started it out. Mateo gets the ground out to Edmundo Sosa. McCann gets the single to center field. Mullins goes up there. He lines out to center field. And it was a humpback liner. Like, it wasn't even tattooed. And every time he had faced Westberg earlier in the game, he had gotten them to retire. All, I think, fly balls, one liner to the outfield, and that was that. But he decides to take Suarez out of the game there in the 7th inning with 2 outs. He goes to Hoffman. Hoffman gives up a double to Westberg. Westberg hits the double to left field. Rutschman steps up to the plate. Westberg's able to advance to third. Rutschman gets the 2-2 splitter in the dirt that Marchand blocks, and then he strikes out on the fastball outside. It didn't come back to bite the Phils in the behind in that inning. You could always make the argument it might have expedited the process a little bit more, where maybe Hoffman comes in and he pitches the 8th inning, or maybe you still give Suarez the opportunity to pitch the 8th inning. That I very much doubt, but the opportunity would have still been there. And then maybe Strahm comes in and either he pitches in the 8th inning or he pitches in the 9th inning to try to close it out. Maybe they give it to Jose Alvarado in that 9th inning, which they ended up doing anyway. But for me, I was a little surprised that Topper was taking Ranger Suarez out. If it was me, I would have left him in. I wouldn't have gone to the bullpen right away. Granted, he gave you 6 2/3. You just had 2 taxing days for the bullpen. So for me, and plus the travel, I want to make sure I don't have to rely on these guys or I don't need to go to these guys when I don't have to go to these guys. I thought Ranger had one more out in him. But as far as his entire start went tonight, gave up a walk to Rutschman in the 1st inning on a 5-pitch walk, 5-pitch at bat, rather. He got Henderson to strike out looking at a sinker. 13-pitch 1st inning for him. Had a decent 2nd inning, did give up a 2nd walk, unfortunately, but got Mateo to strike out on a changeup. Then he got McCann to ground into the 6-4 fielder's choice. 3rd inning, gave up the double to Mullins. Then he got Westberg to line out to left field. Rutschman stepped up and got the double. That was the biggest hit of the game off of Ranger Suarez. Then he got Mountcastle to strike out on a changeup. By the time that inning was said and done, then he got Henderson to strike out on a 3-pitch at bat. Put away pitch was again the changeup. That was a 1-1 game after the 3rd inning. Going to the 4th inning, Santander gets up there with the single to left field. Then Hayes gets up there with the single to center. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Mateo tries to lay down the bunt. This is another play by Marchand. Made a fantastic play to get out in front of home plate, field that baseball, and throw a perfect strike to third base to get the lead runner, so he got help there behind the plate. Very next batter, McCann steps up there, and he grounds it at a 6-4-3 double play, swinging at the first pitch. The Ranger, with some help from his defense, got out of what really was the biggest jam he had of the night there in the fourth inning. Going to the fifth inning, an easy peasy lemon squeezy, 1-2-3. Bottom of the fifth inning. Sixth inning, gave up another hit. This one was to Henderson with one out. Then he strikes out Santander again on the changeup, another 3-pitch at bat where he gets the strikeout, just like that, and ending it on a changeup. Hayes goes up there at the plate. He ends up striking out on a curveball. Literally, at that point in the game, everything was working for Ranger Suarez. The seventh inning, where everybody broke it down, I would have given him one more batter. They opted not to do that. Rob Thompson opted not to do that. That's what I think about the game. What do you think about the game? Let's check our chat check here on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. I did check this, by the way, during the game, during the rain delay, and you guys were popping off. It was great. Absolutely loved it. Sir Sketchable. Great to have you. Win or lose, here's the team has been mad sketchy since Sunday. Give me the heebie-jeebies. Great uses of heebie-jeebies. All right, hold on. That comment was at 9:37. I'm going to try to rattle off the times for context, people. We're all about full news stories here, okay? Fair and balanced. Sir Sketchable, malarkey levels reminding me of the first couple weeks of the year. Ooh, don't like that. John Marinelli, too many guys not contributing. They seem comfortable with it. Same team as the last 2 years. So maybe a little trade deadline shakeup might be coming. John Marinelli. Now, 9:51 is when that comment was made. So I think around 9:51 is when stuff really started to hit the old fan there late in the game. Search Catchable, good thing we put the guy whose only job it is to be fast into the game, to be fast and score from second on a single with 2 outs. His only job. Oh, the Schwarber play. Yeah, okay, hold on. That's good. Thank you for bringing that up. This is why I like going to the chat check in case I gloss over something. So, 10th inning. Johan Rojas, as I said, Johan Rojas leads off with the infield single. Stott's on second base. He goes to third. Literally couldn't have been better. You get the runner advance to third, nobody out. First and third, nobody out. Dahl grounds into the 4-2 put out with Stott. I don't even know how you write that in the scorebook, but he was Stott ran out of the base pass. Barely, but he ran out of the base pass. It was obvious. It wasn't arguable. It was obvious. So Stott's out. You got a runner on first and second now with 1 out. Pache works a walk, bases loaded. You have a little mound conference. Marchan, I would have loved to see Rafael Marchan go deep with the grand slam. We all would have. He didn't do it. He ended up striking out on a high fastball, not being able to hold up his swing. They then make the pitching change. They go from Cano, they go to Perez. Perez comes in to face Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber belts, I think it was a fastball, into right field. As soon as I saw the ball land in the outfield, I go, that's 2 runs. As soon as I saw the ball land in the outfield, I go, that's 2 runs. There's 2 outs in the inning at this point. You're running on contact. Rojas scores. How did he not score? Now, here's the thing. I think he did score. I don't think he ever got tagged. When you watch the replay, I'm waiting for a moment where it looks like there's contact. You can't see clear contact. This play in particular, in the top of the 10th inning on the Schwarber RBI single to right field, they made it a 3-2 game. This particular play is the type of play that if the call on the field was safe, he would have stayed safe. The call being overturned would have been next to impossible. He was called out. It stayed out. If he was called safe, it would have been held. It would have been upheld, excuse me. So it was kind of like, I think the term confirmed was a little, I think Les Bowen actually said this on Twitter. I saw our old friend Les Bowen, former Daily News writer in Philadelphia. Confirmed is probably too strong a word for that situation. What would have better described it is if, like, they just would have put up on the Jumbotron there at Oriole Park, like that, the gif of the little blonde girl that's just like, I don't know. Like, it was called out, so it's out. Difficult to use the word confirmed when it still didn't show anything. I personally, after watching the replays and then going back and then on my DVR and watching it in like super duper slow-mo, I was like, I don't think he was ever tagged. Watching the two angles, one from kind of the overhead, like behind home plate, the other from the side, from like maybe the dugout's point of view. And I don't think he was ever tagged. But he was called out. No, not able to overturn it. But thank you for bringing that up. But yeah, Rojas should have scored, bottom line. Oh, go Sixers, as far as I'm at Camden Yards. Can we invent more ways to blow a game? Their approach to the play was horrible. That was at 10 o'clock. All right, that was at 10 o'clock. Zach, what's going on, Zach? This game should be over, but instead we have to deal with the stupid rain delay. Go get some crab. Well, I don't think you could get crab cakes at that point. I don't think you could get crab cakes at that point. That's a shame. Ryan Campbell, too many guys just not hitting. Zach now with rain delay television. So, stupid question. What type of game do you prefer? A close one like this? I always prefer a close game where my team's winning. Like, my favorite kind of baseball game is it's 4-2. And it's 4-2 from like the third inning to the eighth inning, and then it gets a little close. Sit on the edge of your seat where the bullpen comes in, right? Maybe even a run scored. You're on your edge, you see a little bit more. And then like maybe the seventh, eighth, whatever it might be, you get like a big home run, and you're like, oh, okay, I can take a breath for the close. This is great. MS Kapler is better than Rob Thompson because players don't like Rob Thompson. What? M5, the players love Rob Thompson.
And how dare you bring up Gabe Kapler? Don't make me post on my social media about all my thirst traps I try to lay out there. You know what I'm saying? How do you like the fit on this Taylor suit?
Little Jesse the Body Ventura, little Gabe Kapler. That's what we do here in the postcast. John Marinello, there we go. Ring the bell. This is when the Phillies win. Powerade. I hate Rob Thompson. Why was Rob getting hate? Because of the bullpen? Crazy. Sir Ant of Knee Back. Please tell me that was you voice texting that. Please tell me. That's amazing. Oh, Mark, 1982, KP and Powerade Philly fans, or phony fans, excuse me, phony fans. Didn't you guys quit the first week of the season? Oh boy, we got fights going on. One more to 400. Huh? Star Wars, thank you. One more to 400 subscribers. Yeah, like and subscribe, people, on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, please and thank you. Julian C., what's going on? Phillies outfield production is a horror show. Castellanos batting. I still don't get like this. Really set this set me off yesterday, and it's setting me off again tonight. Nick Castellanos is not a top of the order hitter. He's not a top of the order hitter. Like somebody has got to be out of the lineup. Like more than Trey Turner, more than JT Realmuto. Like there is no way that Nick Castellanos should be batting second. I don't see him ever batting third. Fourth, no. It was a sweet little, nice little, adorable, cute thing Rob Thompson did for him in San Francisco, and it worked for a little bit. Now it's not. He is not a top of the order guy. I know. JT's out and Trey Turner's out. Still, no way. Do I want him to hit in the top of the order? Julian C. Kerkering, when is Thompson going to realize he can't pitch in a high pressure situation? That was a tough one. Yeah. Looking at that bottom of the 10th inning, hits Westberg with the pitch. So you have runners on first and second, nobody out. Reshman strikes out in the 3-2. Now, by the way, speaking of that outside corner, Kerkering was trying to pepper that outside corner, knowing if he gets one just close enough. And the Stott one, where Stott threw the bat down when he got called out on that strike. I'm trying to find the inning it was in. Whatever inning it was in, he was pissed. And I think that was the only one that wasn't a strike. Everything else kind of like dotted the line on the outside, grazed the line. Oh, Joseph Klinger, what's going on? If this is a World Series preview, I'll take it. Baseball at its finest. I would love for this. I've told you guys this before. My grandfather was an usher for the Orioles for 25 years. My mom is from Baltimore. I'm from Philly area. I went to a lot of games at Memorial Stadium, a lot of games at Camden Yards as a little kid. Camden Yards came into existence when I was like 9 or 10, and went to a lot of games there. So I'll admit, I have like a soft spot in my heart for the Orioles, right? I don't follow them. I don't root for them or anything like that, but just like of my childhood, like watching this series whenever and the rare occasion that they play. Oh man, it's weird. It is just on a personal note, it's weird. But if this became a World Series, if this was a World Series preview, Joseph, I think I would love that. I would absolutely love it. And I'm sorry, excuse me, does that mean the Phillies are in the World Series? Yeah, I'm in. Excuse me. Crazy. Yeah, I like Orion, but he's got to go 6th or 7th. Yeah, maybe not ready for primetime players just yet. Crazy. Can't hate on Stromboli. It's basically his first earned run of the year. Laugh my ass off. Yeah, I'm not hating on him. It's a tough one. And here's the other thing. Back-to-back nights, crappy pitches got hit out for home runs. Last night was the O'Neill home run off of Aaron Nola. That was a low and away cutter that he somehow blasted 430 feet. And then tonight, high and away fastball that Santander pulled into the left field stands. By the way, I know it's been a while, but what they did to Camden Yards and the left field wall is just hideously ugly. Like the right field wall is ugly because they have that extension like over where the grounds crew hangs out or whatever that is. And that's ugly. And then the left field, that's also ugly. Also, I saw the first home run hit at Camden Yards, and I want to say it was Kenny Lofton. First night game at Camden Yards. He hit a home run, and it was right in front of me. Brady Anderson put his mitt up. Actually, you know what? We got time. I'll tell this story. Brady Anderson put his mitt up, and I remember in that game. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is sidetracking, but I got to tell the story. I'm 9 or 10 years old. I'm at the first night game, and I remember, long story short, a fan ran on the field. Guy was like a college kid or whatever. He ran on the field, and I remember my dad being like, "Don't you ever run on the field. That guy's an idiot." Whatever, okay. And then I remember the guy getting handcuffed on the field. And I remember him getting taken away. And I remember like the police and everyone was really pissed because it was like the first person to do this at Camden Yards, right? And so fast forward 12, 13 years. I'm in college. My roommate and I are out at this bar, North Star Bar in Fairmount, Philadelphia. And my roommate's like, "Hey, my buddy's going to meet up with us." He comes out. These guys were a little older than me. And I'm talking to the guy, and it was at the same game I was at. I was like, "Oh, no way. I was at the first night game at Camden Yards." He's like, "Yeah, it was a great time. We got really drunk, and my buddy ran onto the field and got arrested." And I go, oh my God, I remember that. Like the image is burned in my brain. And here I am buying this guy beers whose friend was the guy that ran on the field. We're all connected, folks. Never burn bridges. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, what do we got? Elaine, what's going on, Elaine? Hi, Fars. What a game. I see these two teams in the World Series. Oh, we got a World Series preview, baby. Christopher, Schwarb's on fire. Bohm back. Dominguez earning the trust back. Great game. Harp needs to wake up. Come on, Harper. Hate seeing him get multiple first pitch outs in a game, as do I. And how about this? How about seeing Craig Kimbrell tonight? And Nick Castellanos is like, let me just swing at everything he throws. That'll be fun. Let me just swing at everything he throws. You know, because it's not like he'll lose the strike zone at any point. Jesus Ramos. Yeah, Suarez will most likely start the All-Star game. Seriously, Larry, great name. Need clear evidence to overturn. Unsure reverts to the call on the field. Correct. I think I said that. Trolls in the chat. Yeah. Kerkering. Would it be a chat if there weren't trolls? Oh, Joseph, you're going down there Sunday? Going down there for some O's, Stroh's, Natty Bows, some crab cakes at Jimmy's. Crazy laugh. Farzetta, the manager is still a moron. I The team loves him. They play for him. I don't like a lot of his decisions. Okay, the Castellanos batting in the 2-hole. Please, dear Lord, please stop doing that. All right, I can't stand it. Suarez being taken out, not giving that last out. I don't like it even a little bit. All right, there's plenty of stuff that I criticize Rob Thompson for. What did Kimbrel throw? 5? Oh, yeah. How many pitches did he throw? That's a good question. 8 pitches. Dear Lord. Crazy Turner. Yeah, Turner's probably coming back soon. Next couple of days. Early next week, I think would be great. Ryan Campbell, I said the same thing. Stott should absolutely be batting second. No doubt. Oh, the trolls about Kapler. I see what you're trying to say. I get it now. All right. When we come back, we're going to take a look at this Phillies-Orioles series tomorrow, Saturday. Did I say tomorrow? I mean later today, as it's 12:10 in the a.m. Here on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. We'll be back in a second. Keep it right here. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. And we're going to break it down where the Phillies are headed next for Game 2. Not where they're headed next, but what they got going on for Game 2. Back in a second here on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Did somebody say they're going to the game? If you want to go to a game, you know to download the GameTime app to your phone. Do what I do. GameTime app. Download to your phone. Get your tickets with the GameTime guarantee. You know what that means? That means if you find tickets in the same section, same row for less money, GameTime app will credit your account 110% of the difference. That's a GameTime app. That is the best. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets and download the GameTime app to your phone. Priority. Listen to this. Last-minute deals save up to 60% off buying last-minute sports, concerts, comedy, theater tickets, all that with the GameTime app. They have flash ticket deals. You can save even more with exclusive in-app deals and select seats ahead of the game or event. They got zone deals. Save even more when you choose a section and let GameTime choose the seats. They got all-in pricing. You can, toggling this feature shows the upfront. It shows the price up front, so you're not surprised at checkout. Like, oh, these tickets are only $20. Sweet. $45? Where did that wildly inconvenient convenience fee come from? Not on the GameTime app. They let you know ahead of time. Seat views as well. You get great panoramic views of the seat that you want to buy before you buy it, so you know exactly what you're getting. And the GameTime ticket coverage, your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying NBA Finals tickets with the GameTime app, MLB tickets. You want to go see the O's and the Phils play at Camden Yards this weekend. GameTime's got you covered. Download the GameTime app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code with LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Download the GameTime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Here's what we got for the Philadelphia Phillies tomorrow as they go for their 48th win of the season. Phillies and Orioles are going to be back at it tomorrow late afternoon, 4:05 start time, down by the Inner Harbor in the Charm City. For the Phillies, they'll be rendering the services of Taijuan Walker against Grayson Rodriguez. Taijuan Walker 3-1 on the season with a 5.40 ERA. Grayson Rodriguez comes into this one 7-2 with a 3.27 ERA. In his last couple of starts, Grayson Rodriguez has been looking pretty good, to say the absolute least, as you would expect with someone with an ERA of 3.27 and a 7-2 record. And yeah, sure, this Orioles lineup can mash, but he can pitch. Bottom line is, over his last 2 starts, he's only allowed 3 earned runs while going 5 2/3 in his last start against Tampa Bay Rays and 6 2/3 in his previous start to that against the Toronto Blue Jays. Both those games were on the road. This is his first home start in 4 weeks, so he'll be getting after it for the hometown crowd in the Charm City. As for Taijuan Walker, we know what went down for Taijuan in his last start. That was in the old London town. 3-1 of the season with a 5.40 ERA, 5 2/3. Beautiful, wonderful, amazing baseball. Over the last couple of times I referenced here, not giving the pitcher one more out. of all the times you should have given the pitcher most likely one more out was the Taijuan Walker situation before that Gregory Soto fella came in and just let all hell break loose in jolly old London. Not great. Not great. But hopefully Taijuan Walker will get back on track in this. Well, excuse me. Build off getting back on track in his last start. That was in London. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening again. It's a 4:05 start time tomorrow. I'll be on with you guys for your Locked On Phillies postcast after that. So I look forward to talking all things Phils with you guys tomorrow night, hopefully a little earlier than we're talking right now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Once again, hit like and subscribe on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. I'm Mark Farzetta. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.